Coming to you live from Lake Norman, North Carolina. This is Carolina Sports Radio. I'm one of the three hosts, Doug, along with Steven and Justin.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
All right, guys, we're going to jump right in. This is basically after a couple of rough, trials.
Very rough.
We're going to hopefully this will be the birth of the podcast. We're going to just dive in, go ahead and introduce ourselves, and then we're just going to basically go over a synopsis of what we're going to try to talk about on the podcast over different, times in sports. We're going to talk about mainly our focus is going to be, in Carolina sports. We're going to, we'll venture out a little bit as it comes, but mainly sports throughout the Carolinas.
Hence the name.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's a real tough decision for us to make that. We really, we're really working hard on that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'll lead it off, and then we'll just go around the horn here. Basically, I've just always been I grew up playing sports. I'm just a sports junkie, and really, I guess the one that everybody likes watching the most, I guess the most popular spectator sport is the NFL. And that's really what got us three knuckleheads all together. We're part of basically a fan group involved with the Roaring Riot. It's the Lake Norman Riot, and we all met through that. And we decided after sitting around and basically doing this type of thing all the time, we just figured, hey, let's do a podcast. So without further ado, I basically became a Carolina Panthers fan when the team became, the inception. Before that, we talk about us three knuckleheads like to talk about our age difference. I'm the elder statesman, as I like to say. And, we didn't have an NFL team here in the Charlotte area. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, there'll be the big group who's probably loving this. I was a Cowboys fan. And, my family, my dad was a Cowboys fan. And then as soon as it was announced we got the expansion team, I knew then, my allegiances were going to be gone. So as soon as we got the team, I switched over. The biggest story that got me involved was the second year of our existence. We went to the playoffs and played the Dallas Cowboys, who actually were the defending Super Bowl champs.
And who won that game?
And it was tough. I was sitting at the game with my wife, and I was Panthers all the way. And I remember as the superstars for Dallas came out on the field, Troy, Emmett, and Dion, Michael Irvin. I looked over and said, this is going to be a little harder than I thought. But as soon as the first kickoff went off, man, the atmosphere was electric out there, man. I was all Panthers. That day, my Dallas, fandom died along with the Cowboys. And I think Dion and Michael ended up in the hospital after that game, but we won't get into that.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, and I've been Panthers ever since. PSL owner, man, we're ride or die. And that's it, man. That's my story as far as the Panthers. And then I'm a huge Tar Heels fan. I graduated from UNC Charlotte. I always support my university. I'm 49ers first, but I was raised a Tar Heel fan. And I'll just go from there. I'm also a big Hurricane supporter, and it's all about the Carolinas, man. I'm a very loyal where I'm from type sports guy. So that's it. That's my story, and I'll take it, send it over to these guys.
All right, my name's Steven. I'm a little younger than Doug. He might be my pops, but that's what we call him. That's his nickname with me and my fellow co-host here, Justin. He's called the Pops.
Among other things.
But like he said, we were just three guys sitting at the bar, drinking a few beers, talking some sports, and we're like, hey, why don't we just do this on a podcast? I mean, I feel like what we're talking about, people are talking about the same things, and we want people to, hear us about that. So how I kind of became a sports fan, like Doug, I've always been a sports junkie. I kind of grew up that way doing that. I actually started out being a Saints fan, and then I saw Joe Horn make a crazy catch, and I was like, oh man, that's my guy. I love that. He made a crazy end zone catch.
Joe Horn was a beast.
Yep. So end up drafting his son this year. But then Steve Smith came into the league, and he was a little guy, and I'm a little guy too. And he had that chip on his shoulder. I love that fire. And I was like, that's my guy. I will go to Canton when I see it. When he gets in the Hall of Fame, which he will eventually, I will be in Canton seeing that that speech, and then I'm a big Tar Heels fan, just like Dougie over here and Justin on my other side. Heel, yeah. I follow the Canes. Canes. We ran into a bus all Tampa Bay this year, but we got a good squad going there. I'm a huge Hornets fan. LaMelo Ball kind of put us on the map. Won the ESPY award, and our baseball teams. We don't have one here.
We're not going to go there
but
right now.
Hopefully very soon.
We'll fall into that. But yeah, that's kind of how I became a Panthers fan and sports fan, and just love it. So I'm gonna throw it over to Justin here.
Yep. Name's Justin. I'm a little younger than Steven. So
Not much.
Not
Just a
much,
little.
but
Youngin.
he said he's a little younger than you, so I'm a little younger than him. Diehard Panther fan. Used to be. Steven was a Saints fan. I used to be a Tampa fan before I, really watched football.
So we got some taste.
Yeah, we've been out there.
Yeah, I was a Cowboys fan. He's up, man.
Yeah. there you
Honestly,
go.
it was the logo and the colors for me. Young, I just liked it. Definitely a Hurricanes fan, Hornets fan, like Steven said, Hills fan. So we're all kind of the same here, kind of like the same teams.
Carolina Blue is the best blue. Sorry, Dookies.
All day. But we'll talk about everything. We're not just gonna stick to the Panthers or the Tar Heels or anything. We're gonna venture out and talk about a little of everything. You hear the beers popping back there, but we'll bring that up in a second. But yeah, that's about it. Diehard Carolina fan.
I want to. If you guys don't mind me jumping in here, I feel bad. I actually left the Hornets out of my introduction.
I was gonna call you out on that.
Well,
But it's all right.
And the thing that's funny is I was here for their inception as well. I was at the very first Hornets game where we lost by 40 points and we gave the team a standing ovation. I was at the first playoff win. I mean, wow. Sorry, Hornets. You guys can smack me for that. But
And shout out to Ball for not defensive
or
rookie of the year.
breakthrough athlete of the year.
And rookie of the year.
Yeah, and you got to. That's a shout out. We've had some stars here with the Hornets. I mean, back in the early days, we had Grandmama, we had Dale Curry, we had Alonzo Mourning, all those guys, Muggsy.
Baron Davis.
I mean Kelly Chapuka. There's one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we just had a really good deal with the Hornets, and I remember when they left, that was tough on the fan base here in Charlotte. But it's so cool for them to be back, and I'm so glad we got our colors and our name back.
No one wants to remember the Bobcats.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was. We supported them, but we'll just leave
we
that.
had
alone.
some good players on that
I'm
team.
gonna tell you right now. I was at the game where we clinched the worst winning percentage
Sweet.
ever in
Oh,
NBA
sweet.
history,
God.
and that was, what. That was probably one of the best games I've ever been to because it was just nobody cared.
Hey,
It was like it is what we're seeing history right now.
It'll
guys.
go down in history.
Do you have that T-shirt?
I did at one point. I still don't. I think I burned it in.
No, but and I just wanted to mention that, and we're going to talk about, again, going back to what we're going to cover. We're going to cover mainly Carolina type things, and if there are national stories that we feel we need to, talk about, we'll do that. Hopefully, some national stories will actually, be here in the Carolinas, just like with Melo. I mean, that's definitely national. Right now in this could just be opinion based, but Melo's bringing an excitement to the city that when Cam was drafted. When Cam was drafted, man, it changed it around here. I mean, Cam he's an icon, man. I mean, and I'm starting to see some of those similarities. So shout out to the Hornets for making the proper pick. So I'm sure there were people that weren't sure about the pick, but obviously they knew what they were doing.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I was one of those guys that were like, "Do not draft Melo, please don't." I was not looking forward to that.
I didn't want the baggage that came with it.
Yeah,
I think
but it hasn't affected anything.
I think Justin's more on it. I didn't want to draft his dad.
yeah,
And I hate to say that, but he is what he is, and I don't think he's chinging.
But you can see Melo kind of put that to the side. You don't hear about anything.
He's doing good,
and he's electric.
Yeah. Let's just hope we can. Let's enjoy him while we have him, and hope we can re-sign him later. But yeah, I mean, it's little things like that. We just want to, make sure everyone understands that's our whole goal.
Yep.
As Steven said, hence the name Carolina Sports Radio. We're not just going to focus on the Panthers. I do want to stress that the Panthers really is what I guess, got us all together.
Yep.
It's kind of the bond, the glue that kind of put all this together. So, you know, if you see our logo on social media and we're getting out there, please be kind and give us a follow and give us a thumbs up. And if you want to give us a thumbs down, that's fine too. We're open to constructive criticism, because the biggest thing we want to stress to people is we're new to this. We're three knuckleheads that don't know anything about this, and we're learning as we go. So we're actually, you know, we'll make mistakes, but we'll get better. And I think Steven said that one time. Yeah, you know, we'll only get better. We hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
we don't want to get worse.
Exactly. This will be the worst we will be. You know, we're going to continuously getting better and grow and learn. But going back to what you said about the logo, I do want to give a shout out to my beautiful girlfriend's friend. Her name is Emily. She actually made our logo, and she did a fantastic job.
Fantastic job.
Yeah. So shout out to her if she ever hears this. You are the woman. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Sarah, let her know.
Yeah.
We've put it out there too. I mean, your work is being seen. It's out there. And you know, maybe moving on down the, you know, the line here, looking at possibly getting some merchandise. You know, we may have some things printed up, hats, things like that. So we're loving it, man. When it was revealed, we were all real happy with it. So thank you, young lady. I'll have to you know, buy her a drink or something.
Yeah. Good.
But very good. Also, guys, you know, I just kind of want to give a disclaimer here. We're going to say some things on this podcast. You know, it's opinion based. We're trying to keep, you know, what's going on here as genuine as we can. We were all discussing before we started today about, you know, being mindful, but also being real. Justin had hit on that. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to come across as fake. If you meet us in person, we don't want to come across as something different than what we are on here.
Exactly.
So we're going to keep it real, and you know, that may offend some people. We're not trying to do that. It may make some people mad. It might stir the pot, but that's part of sports. That everybody's got their own opinion, and sometimes, you know, we differ, and we just got to agree to disagree and still be fans. That's the biggest thing. So we wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Also, I'm gonna let Steven talk about the next part. We're gonna have a feature on the podcast that we do each podcast where we do something a little different, because one of the things we did do is meeting each other. We had our watch parties in a bar, and then, you know,
what do bars have there, Doug?
we had a couple of adult beverages. So I'm going to let these guys talk about the next segment that we're going to really talk about. And, you know, this is going to be a regular thing, is hopefully, but what we want to stress is we're not sponsored by anyone. We're not getting paid. We're not getting anything from anybody that we feature. So this is really not an endorsement type thing. It's just a feature we like to bring to light.
But we are open to sponsorships if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to re-say that really quick before I say this. We are not sponsored by this. We are just trying it out and letting y'all know what we're trying. So right now we got, and this is going to be different hopefully every time. We got Sycamore. It's a Fun Slinger. It's an Indian IPA. Or no, it's an Indian Pale Ale. My bad.
That's what IPA stands for, Justin.
Oh, my bad. Yo, I'm pretty smart.
Yeah.
You know, he likes it when you just say IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to slay. So,
but it is 7.4%.
So to kind of before we crack them, I kind of want to tell you guys.
There we go.
I'm kind of a basic beer drinker, so I drink my Bud Lights, my Miller Lights, my, you know, just domestic. So my taste buds are different than Doug's and Justin's. Doug's is a little more craft beer. Justin's a little more craft beer too. He's more on my side, you know, on my taste buds.
I'm like right in the middle.
He's right in the middle. So he's kind of the perfect median for everything.
So we're a great group.
Yeah. So we're all gonna have different reviews. We're never gonna bash anything, but it just might not be your kind of your taste buds. You know, it might not be your thing.
But if you want to go try it, there you go.
And that is what we want to stress as well. We're not on here to give opinions to where we say, oh man, this is horrible.
Yeah.
We're going to enjoy it, man. I think one of these guys said to me the other day,
the best beers are free
hey,
beer.
it's a beer. It's a beer. I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to drink
or a cold beer. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
It's
again,
cold.
we're not, but in no way is this a sponsorship or any kind of endorsement. This is just what we chose to feature on the podcast for the day. All right, that's it.
All right.
So we ready?
Welcome to the crack zone.
We're gonna call it the crack zone.
It's for now. It might change.
And this is not that kind of crack.
Right, yeah.
It's gonna be the cold one you hear in a second. Ooh.
Oh, there it is.
That was very nice.
Hey, there was
Oh,
there's one in the back.
there was a background crack too.
That was
That's our background drinker.
that's our mystery manager and tech guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we somebody said that, as soon as said the crack zone, pull up your pants, sir. Not that kind of crack either. So, but no, let's
that's
give
good.
this a little taste.
That's good.
Ooh, that's
that
pretty good right
Yeah,
there.
Pretty smooth.
And that's not just we're not just saying that. No, that's pretty good. Like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Good
smooth.
recommendation from a close friend of the show, and we'll keep that person mystery.
Shout
How
out
about
to the
that?
people behind us though.
There it
for helping
is.
us out.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say names, but we got our tech guys back here, so they have really helped us get everything set up.
Yes.
We would not be doing this if it wasn't with them. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's the unsung heroes. And the good thing about this is we're not on video because nobody wants to see that right now.
Yeah.
But we will, I think, eventually go to video. But the main part of this is we wanted to just do a straight up podcast.
Well, then I have to put a shirt on and
Yeah.
nobody, you
Yeah.
know.
And-
I don't want to do that.
and
we're sitting
pants.
here
Yeah.
naked.
And pants. Hey, they're naked. I'm not. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And we're going to try to keep these as fun as we can. We're very, very excited about what we're about to do. We have talked about this, and I said it was roughly a year. It was probably last year, and as everyone knows, during the pandemic, it was hard on the sports fans. Bad. I mean, it's hard on everybody. Let's just be honest. But as far as sports, it was tough. And the group that we're involved with, we persevered, I guess, and we had watch parties, and we just sat down one day during one of the watch parties, and we said, "Man, what do y'all think about this?" We all, and it's like a light bulb went off with all three of us. We were like, "Hey, we're going to do this," and so it's been, I would say, I don't know, guys, what 7, 8, 9 months in the making,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Almost a year. Yeah.
And here we are, and it went by that fast. So, we're just happy to be here. I hate to sound like I'm getting interviewed after a ball game. I hope I can help the team. But nah, man, we are very excited about this, and hopefully you guys will find it entertaining. There's so many other options for you guys to be listening to and doing your time. And, I hope we can make it fun for you. And just, that's it, man. This thing's going to be fun. But the biggest thing is we want to make sure you guys understand we're just going to keep it real.
Yep.
It is what it is, and we're wrong. Steven talked about earlier, if he gets on here with as he called it, a hot take, and then it turns out to be a cold take.
Yep.
We're going to be men and admit it. Hey, man, we were totally wrong.
So I have a feeling right now I will be Mr. Cold Take. That will be my nickname in a year. Because I will say some stuff that I'm thinking like, oh yeah, this is about to be amazing. And I'll be Mr. Cold Take.
We'll all have those moments.
I'll be Mr. Freeze from Batman. Cold Take.
I can't relate. I don't think I've ever had that. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
but come on now.
I've been wrong several times. So yeah, we're going to do that. So, another thing we want to talk about, let's just kind of get into what stuff we're going to get into. We're also going to, pro sports was what we really mentioned. We briefly mentioned the Tar Heels. I mentioned UNC Charlotte, 49ers. We're going to do, if something comes up in college, if it's a high school kid, that we need to really talk about, we're going to do that. It's Carolina based, and that does include South Carolina. The Carolinas on the end of both those states, and we're going to do that. We may, I think Justin talked about at one point, we may even talk about our neighbors, the Tennessee, Virginia, maybe even Georgia.
Or even, a big trade happens anywhere, or, just something that is big. We might say it, or, we're not going to dive into it too deep, but we'll mention it, but
just get each other's thoughts on everything. Yeah.
And, the other thing too, understand this. I can't stress this enough. We don't know what we're doing. This is unventured territory for all three of us.
It's like Steven said before. We're three dudes sitting at a bar just talking sports.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
You will find us at every bar.
Yeah. If you can relate to that in any way, this is. I feel like you can listen to this comfortably.
Yeah, and we're also going to be to the point where, and Justin hit on this earlier, and I love the way he said it. We don't want to come across fake. We definitely want to be genuine. So if you do meet us in that bar, you may see us at a bar. I don't know. If you do, man, we want to come across as being that same person that you're hearing here. We don't want to be fake. So that's very good. I love the way he talked about that, and that's what we're going to do. So, all right, guys, what else we want to talk about today? We got training camp coming up.
Yeah.
We're going to try to focus on, I don't know. We're going to talk about some predictions type things like that, but I don't know. We definitely got the big thing with training camp coming up, which is shit, man. We are all three, and I know that's going to shock some people. We're going to try to keep our fandom at bay.
Oh,
we're pretty excited about the upcoming Panther season.
I'm shaking.
I mean, we're ready, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Panther fans are. When Matt Rule was hired, I think everybody kind of saw a vision, and we're kind of watching it happen. I think we're all just really pumped about what's about to happen. So, man, it can't get here quick enough for us. So, guys, what do y'all think?
I mean, we signed Rule to it was an 8-year contract, 8-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're just at the beginning of what his plans could be, and he's got that vision and history of changing programs around with Temple and Baylor. They were not very good programs. And then, 2 or 3 years, they're some of the best programs in NCAA. So he's got the history behind him. So I like to see his plans being set into motion and the kind of things that he foresees. I'm starting to foresee with him. So personally, I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I really like the coaching changes we made. I mean, we cleaned house. We brought Joe Brady in, Phil Snow.
Yeah.
Matt Rule. I love Matt Rule. Tepper's really, I love what he's doing. He's really trying to make the Carolinas a place to be, honestly.
Yeah.
He's talking about a new stadium. I mean, we got our soccer team, and he helped out with that. I love what Tepper's doing.
And a new training facility he's building.
Yeah.
That's state of the art, something we'd never had.
And possibly later on down the road, maybe a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the weather. It never snows here.
Yeah.
So,
except right before the NFC Championship in 2015, but that's fine.
Yeah, and then you freeze your balls off.
Yeah, that's fine, man. Get you some hot hands and stick them in your boxers. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
That's how you do it.
So
yeah, and one of the things we didn't get to cover, which if you guys want to touch on that the rest of the way, we didn't get to cover the draft. We kind of got behind the 8 ball, so to speak. We had a few things come up, and this is something that we chuckle about. We were saying, man, we're going to get going, at the end of May, I believe it was, right before. Mm-hmm. We were going to do it before the draft. We just knew timing just didn't work out. We were laughing about this the other day. We're kind of like a mini football team. We went through injuries.
Yeah.
We had, concussion protocol.
Yeah, we had that.
We had surgeries. Yeah. I mean, we've had all kinds of crazy stuff happen. So, here we are. So, we can kind of touch on the draft a little bit for the remainder, if you guys are good with that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Definitely. One of the things, this is, I'm telling you guys, this is just me lying right here, but I think at times everybody likes to be that guy. In other words, you want to be a I told you so type guy.
Oh, yeah.
But you want to say, no, I'm not that kind of guy. Well, in the draft, one of the players that I've just kept coming back to that I thought the Panthers would end up with was, I'm not going to call the name. I just really thought this is the way they would go because I didn't think the first option, which I thought was offensive tackle, left tackle, was going to be available.
Right.
So at one of our watch parties, we actually had a contest of what we had, pick who we thought we were going to get. And myself and who else is sitting here?
Who is it?
Me.
Justin.
He had to think about it for a second.
All right, hang on. Let's pause real quick. I got to shout out to Steven, though, because he knew that JC was my boy.
Absolutely.
And he told me I was going to pick him,
right.
But I left him for you.
Right.
And shout out to Steven, though. I appreciate that.
That's good.
Crisp high five
Oh,
there.
did you look at the elbows? Because I looked at the elbows.
I didn't.
So-
but I saw your eyes go.
Dummy.
So the thing about that is we actually had to submit our picks online. So nobody, unless you told somebody, knew who you were selecting because there was a prize at the end of this thing to win a jersey.
Yep.
And so we entered everything online. Myself and Justin did not know. We picked, saying we didn't know anything.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, our guy,
JC.
JC Horn,
Let's get it.
that's who we both picked. And Justin won the jersey. That's
Yep,
sorry,
we,
no good.
No, it-
Sorry, mooch. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it came down to a coin flip.
We did a coin flip. And if you go on social media, you can actually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lane number
Um,
right, Instagram.
It was so cool, man. That we called that. And, so there's some luck involved in that, of course. But I just know we need a corner bad. And I know
Yeah.
offensive tackle was one we needed. And I knew we needed a big corner.
Well, we could have had a corner if they would have kept James Bradbury.
Absolutely.
I'm just
And I agree with you on that. But
kicking ourselves for that.
I wish we would have kept him. I am happy.
I'm happy about JC Horn. though.
Sure.
I'm super happy about that.
Well, we noted that, you got some big receivers in the NFC South. I mean, I know one big one just left. Can we all agree? Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Bye,
It's
Julio.
And it's kind of weird that JC Horn got drafted and all of a sudden Julio's gone. But no,
Yeah, you kind of ran away from that one.
We were a little glad to see good old Julio leave. But Horn's going to be he's man. I think he's what we needed. And we've been keeping up watching him on social media, watching all his workouts.
the dude
and I
looks
mean,
like an animal.
I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
man. He looks like he looks like he is going to be the real deal.
His footwork is
Yep.
absolutely
He
insane.
looks like an animal.
But I
And-
will say, let's not overhype him because he is a rookie.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we don't want to get our expectations so high that we expect this guy to just be the all pro, do all right at the beginning.
and
He is going to hold his own.
and that is the toughest position going from college to the NFL to transition into.
Well, the NFL it's a passing league,
It
so
is.
all the rules are designed for what?
The
The
receiver.
receivers.
It is.
I mean,
But that's the toughest transition. So if he comes out as a rookie and just play solid, I'll take it for now.
and I think
he's-
he,
he's
I
gonna
think he
learn.
will.
He's gonna learn. So
But hats off to we did pick that, so I guess we're 1-0 on that.
no,
I personally, the whole draft, I really enjoy. I thought we did a good job on the draft. Our GM, let's give a shout out to our new GM,
Mr. Federer.
Fitty.
Yeah.
Man, the guy. I mean, we could start calling this guy. Like I said, I'm surprised he didn't trade his car during the draft. Man,
he might have. You never know.
I
dude.
think Matt Rule was looking at him like, "Are you kidding me, man? You're trading again?"
And he pulled out aces in every
He
single
did.
trade.
He
Yeah.
did, man. I was
Every single trade.
very happy. With
Can you
what we
talk
did.
about how frustrating it was at the time watching those trades going down?
Yeah, you're just sitting there like, what? We're going to trade our pick?
Like I was sitting there. I think it was like the second round. We traded twice. We traded the first time. I can't remember who we traded with. Then we traded with the Browns again. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, because they had that kid from the Joker
Mhm.
from Notre Dame.
Notre
I
Dame.
wanted him so bad. That dude was thumping people.
Yep.
And I was like, we could use a linebacker. I'm like, that guy's sitting right there. He traded back down again. I was like, God almighty.
Well, they had a list of, and they knew what they wanted.
yeah.
That's what impressed me the most. They didn't just sit back and see who fell to them.
Right.
They did what they had to do to get what they wanted, even if it was their second guy at that position. They went and got it.
Right.
And
They did their homework.
absolutely,
They did. They
and
did.
I'm going to say right now, Terrence Marshall might be one of the best sleeping picks in this draft. He was supposed to be a first round pick. This guy,
injuries.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but he's got size. He's got everything we don't have right now.
Yep.
I
I'm
mean, we've
excited.
got all the speed in the world,
Oh yeah.
but we have no size.
I'm excited about that pick as well. I think he might have been a steal at where we got him, and I do know that I did read a couple of things that they had a feeling, or I guess they got a word that the Saints were gonna draft him.
Oh yeah.
That was
That-
two of our players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they wanted Horn too.
Well, they wanted Brady Christensen.
And they wanted Horn.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if it's that we drafted him in spite of the Saints, but let's just sit here and be honest. We don't have to agree that we like the Saints, but the Saints, their success, you can't argue with it. I mean, we've got to start, and we've talked about this, guys. We have to start winning in the division.
Yep.
Over the last several years, we're just getting killed in the division.
You know what I could just be happy with is just back-to-back winning seasons.
Oh, it'd be sweet.
I would just love
Yep.
that once. I mean, just start small. You
Well,
know what I mean?
Let's look in the record books. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, we've never had
Yeah,
that.
I've never had
So
that ever.
Never
we
had it.
that would be I think we would probably have a special podcast just for that.
And what's pretty impressive is we won the division 3 times in a row
And
and didn't have one back to back
That's
season.
insane.
and won a playoff game as a losing
We did.
division
Yeah.
winner.
We did. Yeah.
That's insane.
I thought that's just a weird fact,
So this season's going to be fun. One of the games that's going to be the most anticipated, of course, is the Patriots coming to Bofa. And there's a lot of people, man. And this is one of the things I know that if people who are listening out there are not going to, some will like it, some won't. Again, I'm very loyal to my football team. I'm loyal to Panther players, past and present. But here, my way of thinking is when a Panther player leaves us and goes to another team, however it is, we cut them, they sign somewhere else. It doesn't matter. They're not playing for us anymore. So nothing against Cam, but if Cam is the quarterback when they come here, hats off to him. I'll cheer him. I think Steven said it, or maybe Justin, both of you. We'll give him a standing ovation during the introduction.
yeah.
But once the game starts,
Once the whistle blows,
exactly.
Guess
Screw
what?
it.
it's done.
sorry, Cam.
Brian Burns, I hope you have 4 sacks.
Yeah,
against.
I don't want to see Cam get hurt. Nothing like that.
No, don't get hurt.
But I want to win the game. And
I want to see JC get 4 picks.
Yeah.
So and I know there is a certain, portion of the Panther, I guess I'm going to do this with air quotes, guys, fan base who are going to be pulling for Cam. I've already seen it on social media.
Yeah.
I hope Cam comes here and just kills them. I don't know how a real fan can say that.
You're not a Panther fan.
Exactly.
You're a Cam Newton fan.
You know what that is? That's the LeBron James factor.
That's exactly what it is.
I like a player versus a team.
Yeah.
And I don't subscribe to that.
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't need that.
I don't. So it should be a fun season though, man. And the opening game with the Jets coming here and Darnold.
Oh, God.
I know one thing me and Steven talked about a long time ago, and I know Justin was involved. I'm sure he said it too, but I remember specifically having a conversation with Steven about Darnold.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that the Panthers would at least look into possibly getting him. I just think a guy needs a change of scenery and a chance. I mean, let's talk about the Jets. Do you really want to talk about the Jets?
I mean, he had the Adam Gase syndrome.
Oh.
I mean, Jesus.
So
Did he ever have a weapon other than Robbie Anderson?
and we have him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his number 1 was Jamison Crowder, who's a good number 2.
He's a
Absolutely.
good slot guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you can't run a team. You can't run an offense with fourth string receivers all the time.
And no offensive line.
No offensive line
And no running back.
running backs. Like they tried Le'Veon Bell, that did not pan out
No, it
at
didn't
all.
pan out. He didn't pan out wherever he's went.
So everybody comes to me, it's like, oh, you guys got Darnold, he sucks. But I'm like, look at what happened to Ryan Tannehill when he left Adam Gase.
Exactly.
And go
Holy crap.
talk about that, Steven. You mentioned that when just a roundabout talk to us. Talk about that comparison and what you think. How's Darnold going to be this
So
year?
I really think Darnold's about to make that Tannehill turnaround. I mean, Tannehill was with Gase in Miami, and he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Wasn't good.
He was there.
He was not good at all.
He was snapping the ball.
He was not good. He
holding down the position?
Yeah, not even close.
But I mean, you
But-
saw it.
Yeah, but you saw the flashes of him,
Yeah.
just like you saw in Darnold with with the Jets. You saw those flashes of those throws he can make, and you get Tannehill, you put him in Tennessee, and all of a sudden this dude's a Pro Bowler. This dude's a top 8 quarterback.
Yep.
Like, what's the difference?
There's a lot involved in that. You have better personnel.
Yeah,
You've got obviously better coaching.
Yeah.
And it's amazing if you put the right guy in the right situation, he
What
can
they can do.
thrive.
Yep.
And I love the comparison about Tannehill. I hope that's where we're at with Darnold. And I know we have all three said, man, let's try not to be homers.
yeah.
But I like what I'm seeing out of that.
The dude,
Oh, yeah.
but like the guy can make every throw.
Every throw.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one, I think it was against, I cannot remember what team it was off the top of my head now, but he was coming across his body and he was off one foot, threw it dime.
I mean, that's Patrick Mahomes. Like,
Yeah, it literally was a Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
throw, but because it was Darnold and the Jets,
nobody saw
there
it.
was no highlight.
Yeah. And that's sad itself. Like this guy's coming out of college as a top quarterback, and now everybody forgot about him because he's in New York. Like, the thing that I like the most about Darnold, he's the same age as Joe Burrow.
No, I think he's younger.
He's younger than Joe Burrow.
He is younger than Joe Burrow.
And he's been in the league 3 years.
He's younger than you two guys.
Yeah, he literally is.
I mean, all right, he's younger than you too, Doug.
Yeah.
Chill out.
We won't mention that.
He might be my grandchild.
But this guy has 3 years in the NFL already, and he's younger than some rookies coming in the league. So we have all the room to improve with this guy.
That was Darnold, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you hear how young he
Yeah,
sounds?
look how young he sounded.
But yeah, we have all the room to improve with this guy, and he's got all the weapons. I mean, when healthy, Christian McCaffrey is the top running back, I would say, in my mind.
He is.
DJ Moore, I'm just shouting it out right now. He is the most slept on receiver in the league.
I think that's a fair assessment.
No one ever talks about this guy.
Oh my God! I mean, look at his stats with the quarterbacks that we've had playing. I mean, not to discredit any quarterback, but Jesus,
I mean,
the dude's get what, over 1,200 yards each year.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
He does a lot of dirty work
He does.
underneath. We talked about it the other day. A lot of yak yards, which is good.
Yeah.
But I don't care if our quarterback throws a 2-yard pass and then we turn it into an 80-yard touch. I don't care.
Yep.
In the stats, it counts as an 80-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So I see that. I agree with what Justin's talking about with Darnold. And the other thing about Darnold, if you just notice, I just like his demeanor. He seems like a genuine kid.
Mhm.
He comes across as a likable guy.
Down to earth.
Yeah, I mean he does, and I think he's hungry to prove that what happened in New York was kind of a fluke.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, he got a lot of the blame.
He did.
He got
did.
a lot of the
And I
blame.
think he, considering the New York media, I think he took it well.
Yeah. Oh God.
Where he could have come out and said, "Did you see what I have around me?"
He took it in stride.
Absolutely.
He
Did.
took it in stride.
Yeah.
So I think that's a positive. And Justin, you talked about CMC. Look, I've said this before, and we have no shame in this. I'm wearing his jersey right now. I think we all have a man crush on CMC.
Oh yeah.
Is anybody?
yeah.
Are you guys scared to admit that?
Oh,
No.
I admit it
Not at
all
all.
day, every
and
day.
and all you guys out there, I know you don't want to admit it. Admit it. You
Yeah.
know you do.
You'll feel a lot better. You'll feel a lot better once you do.
Just say it out loud. You'll feel better.
Yeah.
And again with McCaffrey, man, he seems like a good kid, good attitude. I think he's hungry to prove. He got hurt last year, and he's already hearing the injury-prone things. I think he's hungry.
That's what pisses me off a little bit. Is like, how is he injury prone? This is his first year that he's got hurt.
Well, people are already saying that.
And honestly, I think he was healthy. He was good to go at the end of the year, but they're not going to do it.
Why not shut him down? What were we playing for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We're actually playing for a better draft spot, so why play him?
Yeah.
I think we all three were yelling at the parties.
Oh, we were.
Shut him down.
Yeah, like,
shut him
be
down.
done
Why
with
is he
it.
out there?
Be
Yeah.
done with it.
So, I still see a lot of, on social media and different publications. He's still listed as the number one fantasy running back.
Well, I mean,
It is what it is.
if you looked at he played 4 games.
Oh my God!
If you looked at the 4 games that he played,
Yeah.
they're absolutely insane.
and
like-
and then you give him 12 more.
Yeah, he would have absolutely demolished the league.
Oh my God! I mean, that first game against the Raiders, he was just
He had a good game
He
against
was-
Kansas City.
he was tearing him up. Oh, he did.
Kansas City game. A game that I have to be honest, and I hate to do the woulda, shoulda, couldas.
We should.
We should have won that game.
Oh yeah.
100%.
It is what it is what it is. But there's probably a lot of games over the Panthers years where we say we should have won that game. And Justin talked about earlier about the new coaching staff. I think all three of us would agree. We liked Ron Rivera.
Oh yeah.
I don't think any of us disliked Ron Rivera. Straight up guy. I think he had some good years here in Carolina.
Oh, I think he's going to kill it in Washington.
he'll probably
He's already killing
and
it
I,
in
and I
Washington.
think he will. And it just it's kind of like when John Fox left. Man, we just needed a change. You know what I mean? It kind of ran its course.
Yeah, I mean, John Fox was. I'm sorry, I love John Fox. Took us to our first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But come on, dude.
Yeah.
He was run first down,
Yeah.
run second down, play action third down.
Hey,
I mean,
Not only did he coin the phrase "it is what it is,"
yeah,
but he also coined the phrase, "Hey, punting is not a bad play." I think it was punting is not a bad
Yeah,
offensive play or something
right.
like that. So run right, run left, run up the middle, and punt.
yeah. Come on. Yeah.
I mean, you got to throw the ball. The NFL is all about throwing the ball.
But you know what's funny is his team. I think this stat still holds true. We have the longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl.
That's right,
history.
Muhsin
Yeah.
Muhammad.
Moose Muhammad.
Let's have a shout out to the Moose.
Yeah, Moose.
Yes, Moose. 87 yards. I
Let's
loved
go.
it. Still see it.
Yep.
So
Can we just shout out to the Panthers, honestly, because we haven't been in the league that long, but we've been to 2 Super Bowls already.
look at the success we've had versus some of these older
Exactly.
teams.
Exactly.
And
Like-
again, we're not hating on you. Say, go ahead, Justin. I mean,
I don't want to like
how many Super Bowls has Detroit been to?
Zero.
How many has Cleveland been to?
Zero.
Do we need to keep going?
How long has Cleveland been in the league?
That's my point. That's
Since
an
the dawn
old.
of
That is
time?
an old.
And this is not hating on you guys. This is
no.
historical
No,
facts.
yeah, it's just look it up. Like
now,
all you have to do is Google it.
these same fan bases will say, "Well, how many have you won?" Well, you can't win it if you ain't in it.
Yeah.
exactly.
So you know what? You
Exactly.
know what? Go sit in the corner and figure out how to win. So yeah, I agree, Justin. That's great, man. We're probably showing our fandom, but man,
that is our fandom.
This
showing a
is
little
this
bit.
is just it, man.
It'll come out.
We love it, and you know, the other thing, we didn't really go too much into the draft, but you know, we really like what we did in the draft. I think we filled some needs.
No, we feel a lot of needs.
So, yeah. So the biggest thing, you know, we want to talk. We're going to be heading. Reason I brought draft up again, or excuse me, draft. We're going to go more toward training camp. We're going to. I think in our next episode, that's what we're talking about. We're going to talk about more leaning
Yeah.
toward training camp.
Yep.
So, and we're probably we will. I think we're going to record that
Next
that
week,
episode next week.
right before the training camp starts. Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, we're going to kind of, go more toward that. But yeah, this first episode, this is kind of, you see, we just kind of sit around, we're drinking a beer and we're just sitting here shooting the what?
Shooting the shit.
I knew it was coming. We should have a button here, bad button. But yeah, I mean, this is the format, guys. You may agree with us. You may not agree with us. You may think we're complete idiots because a lot of people do. But hey, man, that's what makes sports fun.
It's fine.
We
We're having
talk about
fun.
it.
We're having fun.
We're not always gonna agree. It is what it is. We talked about this. That's what's going on in today's society now is we can't disagree anymore. It's always you either got to agree with me or you're wrong.
Yeah.
We've gotten away from that. We need to get back to we can agree to disagree.
Yep.
And that's how we're going to be on this podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
We may say something that you don't agree with. Well, that's fine. But guess what? I'm not going to change my opinion just because you don't like it. So we're going to sit here, and if that's the way we see it, we're going to see it that way. We'll listen to you, but that doesn't mean we're going to say you're wrong and we're right.
Exactly.
That's it. So what else we got, guys? Anything before we wrap up?
No, I think the next podcast where we're going to dive deep into training camp, maybe make some predictions, some preseason predictions, maybe some surprise cuts, some surprise makes.
Yeah.
Who do you think should be training camp breakout stars, offense, defense, special teams?
Yeah. Let's talk about this last thing, man. I can't get it out of my head. I think Justin had said to us on one of our trial runs we had. I think he said he became a Panthers fan, and it was our first Super Bowl,
Oh, you did say that,
which would have been 2003.
Three.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it just blows me away because, I was well into my Panther fandom by then, and that gives you the idea of what we're talking about here. I mean, I love that so much that us three guys can sit here and all have those perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. I love it.
So like, I mean, that's just I remember the day that I was watching that game. It was in my dad's building. We were all standing beside the TV, just watching. And, my dad's a super big Panther fan. He was. And I just fell in love with him. Like, I don't know, just something clicked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you just felt the vibe from the team. I mean, there were the cardiac cats.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt all that kind of energy coming from them. The player. We had good players too.
Yeah.
Stephen Davis, John Foster, Steve Smith, Musa Muhammad, Jakey,
And who's back? Dan Morgan.
Dan Morgan.
It's just a really,
Concussion protocol.
you sit back and you just think about where you were and what you did during that time. And
Can we just remember the halftime show real quick?
oh, we mentioned that at one point.
That's why I became a Panther fan.
I saw my first booby
and
during that halftime show.
And I don't think they were legal. We all
Yeah.
three, we do have a soft spot in our hearts for Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
Thank you, Justin.
Thank
He
you
is-
so much.
He's a legend in
Um,
my heart.
So he's a friend of the show. Hey, Justin, if you're listening, come on, man. Come on.
We'll talk about it.
We'll love to have you on. But now, guys, that's it. We're going to wrap up this episode. Man, I had a ball. That is another thing. The time goes by way too fast.
Let me give a shout out to
Go right ahead.
to our boy Mark Stevens. I said something about the Steelers in the first podcast. My bad, man. Don't hate me. I love you. We love you. Keep listening. That's
Keep
it.
pounding.
Yeah, keep
nah.
pounding. But you know,
There you
here's-
go, Marky Mark.
it's all love. It's all love.
I don't know, Steven, you can chime in on your opinion too. My feelings toward the Pittsburgh Steelers is mixed. I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan because I used to be a Cowboys fan, of course.
Yeah.
But and I'm not, by the way. I want to make sure I make that very clear. I'm no longer affiliated with the Dallas Cowboys. Don't give a crap
He
about them.
got rid of that.
That-
he got rid of that virus.
That virus got cured. It's gone. But Pittsburgh, one thing I'll say about the organization, that is a solid franchise.
They are.
You
Very
can
good.
hate them if you want to. You can hate the fan base. You can hate whatever. But what you can't do is you can't hate their success.
Mike Tomlin might be one of the best head
It's
coaches
14 straight years.
ever.
Oh yeah,
You-
I'll give you
you
that
know,
right now. Like
Ever.
So Mark, you said his name's Mark.
yeah.
Mark Stevens.
Mark, listen, man. I'm just going to be honest. I hate your team, because, hey, it is what it is.
You're so good.
You're good. So that's a compliment to the success that you
Yeah,
guys
well,
have had.
we
You
hate
got
the team, but
six Super Bowls.
yeah, we hate the team, but we respect it.
It's
I
like
exactly.
Tom Brady.
Yep.
He's the best, but you
You-
got to respect him.
We all just agreed that Tom Brady is the man.
Yeah.
Whether you guys like him or not,
If anybody watches football, you have to agree that Tom Brady is
All
the
you-
best quarterback.
all you Brady haters,
No,
we talked about this last time, right? You want him as your quarterback. You might as well admit it. You want him.
you're lying if you say you
yeah,
don't,
you're not being honest to yourself. So Mark,
or you're an idiot.
so Mark, here's a shout out to your Steelers. We're not fans, but we do respect the Pittsburgh Steelers. That fair?
Yes, yep. Totally agree with that.
So that's it. Yeah. And so anything else, guys, that we didn't mention? Any more shout outs? Anything? I don't think we mentioned the Lake Norman Caniacs is another group that we are associated,
Yep.
kind of in.
Yep.
But we're going to do these types of things where we shout people out and, and talk about what we're involved in. So that's it, man.
Yep.
This we're going to wrap it up. I'm telling you, it's hard because it's so easy to get to talking and we're sitting at the bar, but time flies.
No, yeah.
So
Thank you guys for everything you've already done so far. Please keep listening and sharing. And we love all y'all. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Keep following us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And we'll keep putting out great content, hopefully. So thanks, guys.
all right, guys, that's it. This first episode, that'll be the end of the first one. So, hey, guys, thank you. Please be kind with your comments, and hey, give us a follow on social media. Thank you.